What's going on, guys? It's Perna here, and today we're going to talk about the most overrated things in the fitness industry. Now, if you get a bit of value out of this video, you learned something, or maybe you just enjoyed it, please hit the like button and obviously subscribe. That would be great. Getting straight into it with the first one, deadlifts. Deadlifts are the most overrated exercise in the history of fitness. Okay, hear me out. When I was younger, I had a guy tell me that if you want to grow your back, you need to do deadlifts. I think every gym has one of these guys, and deadlift heavy. So I did. And the result was I fucked my back. And here's me, I had no back to begin with. And then I just went and fucked it. After that, I focused on my form and pull downs, rows, I split the back up, I trained it hard and properly, and my back did grow. Now, of course, a deadlift is going to work your back. It's going to work your back, your arms, your legs. It's a great movement for some people, and some people get amazing results off it, but that doesn't mean that you need to do it. A lot of people say you have to do deadlifts. You just don't have to do them. If it doesn't feel good and it hurts and increases the risk of injury, why the hell would you do it? There is no reason. The amount of people I've seen with great deadlifts and just the worst physiques is ridiculous. Some people, like, look at Jordan Peters. He has one of the thickest backs I've ever seen, and he swears by deadlifts. But some people can deadlift all they want, get strong as hell, and they still look like shit. So if it works for some people, great. If it works for you, amazing, keep doing them. But don't think you need to do them to grow your back, because you don't. Overrated fitness topic number 2 is a 1 rep max. The amount of guys that ask me, hey, what's your 1 rep max? What do you bench? How much do you bench? I literally have no idea. Why? Because I couldn't give a shit. It doesn't make any ounce of difference, nor does it benefit you in any way if you know or do 1 rep maxes. I mean, there might be guys that go, oh yes, but then I calculate what my 1 rep max is and I get to do 70% of my, alright, it's, who gives a fuck? Just, if you need to do 10 reps, do 10 reps. I don't need to do 1 rep to figure out how many I need to do 10, I just do 10, right? So I don't see any validity or just point in doing a 1 rep max unless you're trying to prove how strong you are to either yourself or someone else. So if you don't give a shit about your ego and you're not out to prove yourself and you don't really care, I can't see how a 1 rep max would be beneficial. If you really want to tear your chest off the bone and do some damage and you just want to increase the likelihood of that happening, then definitely do 1 rep maxes. Do as many as you can. Do them like 6 days in a row. See what happens. But otherwise, is there a point in doing 1 RMs? No, I don't think so. I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me with the amount of increases risk of injury. No one does them correctly. Everyone's form goes like absolutely crazy, like they're trying to break themselves. I do not see a point for 1 rep maxes in the gym. Now just pause for 1 second. I'm gonna tell you something that's underrated, okay? I've been speaking a lot about overrated, but slouch potato is underrated. This is my brand of loungewear or pajamas. Don't wear them to bed, you wear them on the couch. You wear them when you're watching this video right now, that's the best. So soft, super stretchy and amazing. This one, a steak pattern, primal as fuck, drops on the 20th of June. Otherwise, there are heaps on the website. Use the code OVERRATED for 20% off. And back to the video. Progressive overload is overrated. Hear me out. This overrated fitness topic is gonna make a lot of people angry, and it is progressive overload. Yes, I just said that the fundamental concept of building muscle is overrated. That doesn't mean it doesn't have value, that just means it is really overrated, okay? Let me explain why. So we all know that to grow muscle, we need to be progressively overloading. That is getting stronger, either more weight, more reps, or more tension over time. But that last one is often overlooked because people usually just think more weights or more reps. That's why it's overrated, is because what people focus on is let's just get stronger and stronger and more reps and more reps. And as my coach once said to me, if this were true, in 2 years you'd be lifting a house. People have limitations. We can't just continually improve every single time. Even if you are doing everything you can, you're still gonna have days where you just can't do it. So what people usually do is they overcompensate and change the form just to tick the box of progressive overload. So instead of doing a strict form, they just go a little bit less strict, and then that becomes a new standard when those last couple of reps when they're grinding it out. So the overimportance on overload doesn't necessarily increase muscle tension. Let's look at an easy example, all right? If I'm doing 30 kilo barbell bicep curls, strict form for 10 reps, my biceps are working very hard. Then next week I do 35 kilos for 10 reps, but I swing the fuck out of it to get the weight up. Are my biceps working any harder than they were the week before? Probably not. If anything, they could be working even less because now I'm using gravity and also shoulder and just the momentum in there. So more weight and more reps doesn't always equal more tension, because if you change the form, you're changing the tension. Now, to avoid this, all we need to do is standardize the form so much that you don't change. Your first rep should look the same as your last rep, with the exception of speed. The reality is, some days you're gonna feel great and some days you're gonna feel horrible. You can't expect to overload on the days you don't feel very good, and then you can't just sleep more or eat more because it's not gonna necessarily solve the problem. Sometimes you need time. Sometimes you just got to give it a bit. An over-reliance on overload can increase the risk of injury if you're not careful. Chicken is overrated. I once knew a guy that was allergic to chicken because he ate so much of it. And I feel like with the amount of chicken I've eaten in my lifetime, I should be allergic. And there should be a bounty on my head for 200,000 pellets in chicken communities. But the reality is there wasn't. And the only thing I got out of eating chicken every single meal of the day was that I ate chicken every single meal of the day. Got good protein in there, but there are no micros really in chicken. When you compare that to the likes of the grass-fed red meat or omega-3 rich salmon, you just don't get that in chicken. So the amount of chicken that bodybuilders eat on a daily basis, and guys trying to get big because they think that's just kind of the normal, just chicken and rice, chicken and veggies, it's insane. So you're basically just not fueling yourself with the best possible option. My advice, have some steak, have some salmon, put some chicken in there, vary your protein sources and your micronutrients. You'll get a lot more and you get a lot more bang for your buck. So I'm not saying don't eat chicken, have some chicken, but don't just eat chicken. Chicken. The last overrated fitness topic is spotting. Guys, stop spotting your training partner like it's your job to do the rep. Guess what? If they're doing their set, that's their set, not yours. You wait. You don't fucking curl their elbows just to get the shoulder press up. You don't do that. You just sit back and wait. Otherwise, you could just do that all you like, and every rep you're tapping and whispering there and go, 5 more. You don't need that. Just let them do their set until your job comes in later down the track when they cannot get that last rep and they want a little bit off. You just got to take a little bit of tension off. Then you take off a couple kilos like that. Then they keep going. The rep speed doesn't change. It's hard. Don't just go like that and go 5 more, because you're increasing the risk of injury to them. I know I've ramped on about that this whole video, but it's very, very important. Increasing the risk of injury to people, because you're jamming up their elbows and you're f***ing up the whole form and you're throwing the momentum off, and it's really, really distracting. When people spot me, I'm like, dude, get off. Like, unless you're gonna be very careful and methodical about tactfully taking off some of the weight, I don't want your hands on me. It's not gonna help me. Anybody can come spot me and go 10 more and just keep pushing it. I don't need that. It's not gonna help me. It just kind of makes me do the set for longer. So the next time you're spotting someone, take a little bit of weight off, just a little bit. And if they say, hey bro, can you get it up for me? It means you're gonna have a very difficult conversation. No, it means that it's too heavy for them. You shouldn't have to get the weight up for your mate. It's his weight, it's his set. You let them do that, and if he needs any extra help at the end, or he's gonna hurt himself, then you're there. That's a spotter's job. Don't over spot. That's all I'm gonna say. So that is it for me, guys. That is just the final bit of this video. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, give it a like, leave a comment below, and let me know your thoughts on these overrated topics, or if you have any more.